Number 15.
5.
Peeping Tom. In high school, I was obsessed with movies and wanted to be a director when I grew up. My parents saved up and bought me a camcorder, and I spent money from my after-school job at a restaurant buying tapes and editing equipment to play around with. A few months after my next-door neighbor died, his wife had a huge garage sale. And though my neighbor had never told me, he shared my interest in making home movies. I found a bunch of blank camcorder tapes at the sale, and his wife ended up giving them to me for free. I went home and put the tape in and watched in horror as I realized how upsetting the contents were. Tape after tape, I found footage of my home and the area around my home taken from outside the windows, as my family and I remained oblivious. My bedroom seemed to be his favorite to lurk outside, and you could often see inside clearly if I left the blinds open. He would just stand there and breathe and record whatever was happening inside. It was chilling enough until I saw footage of a cabin about an hour and a half from my home, where I'd gone with some friends the previous summer. He had been outside the cabin filming and had even gone inside to film our beds and go through our stuff while we had gone into town for groceries. It seemed strange that his wife wouldn't have checked the tapes to see what was on them, given that her husband had just passed away and she could be getting rid of irreplaceable family memories. But then again, maybe she had an intuition about what she would find in the kind of person her late husband really was.
Number
4.
14. The Man Outside. I always check the blinds before I go outside. For years, people have made fun of me when they witness this, and my husband thinks I'm crazy. We live out in the country, and we've never had an issue with someone trespassing. But I still lean over every time I'm going out the front door and make sure no one's out there first. One night, I was about to go to bed when I realized I left my phone charger in my car. I had put it in my purse that morning because the one I had at work broke, and only just remembered it as I left, placing it on my passenger seat. I needed to charge my phone, and I didn't have a reason to be afraid of the 10 yards from my front door to my car parked in the driveway, but I peeked out the window anyway. I was running on such instinct that my hand was already on the lock, about to flip it and open the door when my brain registered that what I had seen wasn't normal. I shifted my weight back and looked again, squinting to see in the dim light by the garage we leave on all the time. I saw a man crouched by the front door holding a hammer. He wouldn't be visible from the little window on the front door. You wouldn't even see him until he was right next to you. I screamed for my husband and watched him book it down the drive. I didn't see him get into a car, but he must have gone somewhere. We called the cops, and they couldn't find any sign of him. We invested in some floodlights next day, and no one made fun of my habit again.
Number 13. Message on the mirror. I was babysitting for a new family in town one night. After the couple left, the kids were playing in the living room, and I went upstairs to use the bathroom. I turned the light on and saw a message sprawled across the mirror in red lipstick. Tonight is the night evil begins. I freaked out and made the kids go in their bedroom so I could lock the door. I called my mom and she came over and stayed with me until the couple returned. They seemed bewildered by the message on the mirror and claimed they had no idea how it got there. They were persistent in trying to hire me for the next few months, but I never babysat for them again. I heard something similar happened to the next babysitter they managed to hire. Number 2, the body in the road. I've heard of things like this happening, but I thought it was an urban legend. In college, I used to go home on the weekends to do laundry and eat free food and hang out with my family and high school friends. I was a night owl, so I'd stay as long as possible and then drive the 3 hours back to school in the middle of the night. This is in Nebraska, so even when it isn't the dead of night, it's easy to find yourself totally alone on the road. One Sunday night, I was driving back to school. It was around 4 a.m. I wasn't too far out of my small town toward the city yet, and as usual, the roads were completely deserted. Up ahead, I saw what looked like an accident. There was a car pulled halfway off the road onto the shoulder, and I saw a body in the middle of the road. Needless to say, I was extremely creeped out, but I also had these feelings of wanting to stop and help if someone was hurt and needed medical attention. Eventually, my rational side won out, and I decided to drive around the accident and then call 911 after I made it around and was on my way. I'm a small guy, and something about the situation didn't seem right to me, or perhaps I was just too scared to stop and get out of my car in the dark to investigate. I drove on the shoulder of the opposite side of the road, clear from the other car and the body on the road. When I was about 10 yards past the accident, I looked in my rearview mirror, ready to pick up my phone and call the police, when I saw a handful of people coming up from the ditch where they'd been hiding behind the car on the shoulder. The body in the road was now standing up, watching me drive away. Number 1, he could see me. I was trying to make friends in my new city, so I went to a party a coworker invited me to. I ended up having too much to drink because I was trying to calm my nerves and have fun with strangers. Uber wasn't a thing yet, so I decided I'd just sleep it off in my car and drive home in the morning. I woke up in the dead of the night, and the city street was so eerie. It had been well populated around a bar close when I passed out, but now it was deserted. I could just see by the light of some streetlights and the glow of the moon. I wondered for a minute what had woken me up before I heard a scratching noise on the passenger side rear window. I'll never forget the look on the guy's face who was crouched outside my car, staring at me and trying to get my attention. When he saw me, he grinned and pressed his open mouth against the glass and then made a chomping motion with his teeth bared and giggled wildly. The worst part was there was nothing I could do. I knew I didn't want to risk driving drunk, but I didn't want to get out of the car and run away either. In the end, I took my jacket off and put it over my face and just tried to go back to sleep, knowing he was still out there. I heard him walking around the car, tapping at the glass for what felt like hours as I hid in plain sight and prayed for him to go away. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. I will be making a scary stories montage every 3 days. So top 5 scary stories. It's from this book, 101 Scary Stories. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you in 3 days. And yeah, first video of my channel. Hope you guys like it. Go check out my main channel, Basketball Bud. Well, all about basketball. I just wanted to try something different, so hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.